me ask you something real. When was the last time you sat in complete stillness? Not scrolling, not thinking, not trying to fix something or figure something out, but just being. In a world that moves at the speed of survival, stillness doesn't even feel natural to most people. It almost feels like rebellion. We've been trained to believe that peace is a luxury, that rest is laziness, that stillness means you're falling behind. But I want to offer you a truth that changed my life and the lives of so many I worked with. Stillness isn't weakness, it's power. It's where alignment happens, and it's where truth and wisdom speak the loudest. And when you start letting stillness lead, you no longer live in a state of reaction. You start flowing in alignment with clarity, purpose, and divine intelligence. That's what this video is about. And if you've been feeling anxious, disconnected, overwhelmed, or just exhausted by the noise of it all, you're in the right place. Let's begin. When most people hear the word spiritual, they automatically think of religion or some set of beliefs and practices of worship. Or some even think of a path of righteousness. But spiritual alignment has nothing to do with religion, and it's definitely not about being perfect. It's not about being calm all the time or floating through life in a Zen state. Spiritual alignment means you are congruent, that your thoughts, values, beliefs, and actions are in harmony with your truth. It means you're no longer living by programming, fear, or performance, but instead by presence, by that inner knowing, what we often call intuition, by divine flow. When you're in alignment, you make decisions from clarity, not fear. You attract what mirrors your worth, not your wounds. You respond instead of react. And you move with purpose instead of panic. It's not that life necessarily gets easy. Life can be very difficult at times for anyone. It's that you stop betraying yourself by trying to survive. Instead, you begin walking in harmony with life as it is in the present moment. Let's get honest. Stillness is hard. The world doesn't slow down for anyone. So learning to be still, it's a practice, and it takes dedication. The moment you sit in silence, your mind screams, you should be doing something. You're wasting your time. This is uncomfortable. Why? Because stillness disrupts the illusion of control. It threatens the ego and shines a light on everything we've been avoiding. The grief, the fear, the noise, the numbness. But hear me when I say this. Stillness is not passive. It's not weakness. Stillness is where power returns to its source. It's not where you do less, it's where you become more present, more aware, more powerful. Because in stillness, you stop running, you stop performing, and you start hearing that subtle voice of truth within again. Stillness is where truth rises. It's where God whispers, and it's where your soul starts remembering who it is. Let's break this down for real, because I know the idea of stillness can sound nice, but if it doesn't translate into something practical and powerful, what's the point? So let's talk about what stillness actually does. What happens when you stop reaching, stop performing, and just sit with yourself, fully present? Here are 4 life-changing ways stillness gives you back your power. Number 1, stillness clears mental noise. Most people try to think their way to clarity. They push, they analyze, they go in circles. But clarity doesn't come through force. It comes through quiet and surrender. Stillness is like muddy water. The more you stir it, the cloudier it gets. But if you stop stirring, it eventually settles and you can see right to the bottom. That's what happens in stillness. The truth that's been buried beneath anxiety, overthinking, and noise begins to rise. Naturally, and effortlessly. You don't have to figure everything out. You just have to get quiet enough to hear that subtle truth, that gentle inner knowing, trying to guide you on your journey. Number 2, stillness regulates your nervous system. This one is huge. If your body is in fight or flight mode, like when you experience anxiety or stress, if your breath is shallow, your heart is racing, and your system feels on edge, your mind blocks the truth from breaking through. You can't think clearly, make a aligned decision, or feel spiritually connected. Your body thinks it's in danger, so it shuts down everything that doesn't pertain to your safety. Stillness interrupts that. It slows the breath. It grounds the body. It tells your nervous system, you're safe now. You can breathe again. And when your body feels safe, your mind stops spiraling and your spirit starts speaking. This is where peace begins, not in your head, but in your nervous system. Number 3, stillness aligns you with inspired action. To be inspired is to be in spirit. Most people are addicted to movement. They feel like if they're not doing something, they're failing. So they act from fear, from urgency, from panic. But panic-driven action is usually just avoidance in disguise. It looks productive, but it's rooted in disconnection. Stillness teaches you to wait for aligned action. Not forced, not frantic, but guided. It's that quiet nudge, that internal yes, that pull towards something that feels true. And here's the beautiful part. Aligned action is always more efficient. It's cleaner, it's more effective, and it creates bigger results with less energy. It's often the difference between striving and flowing, between forcing and allowing. Number 4, stillness connects you to divine intelligence. This is where it gets spiritual. You're not separate from God. You're not some powerless being waiting for permission or rescue. You're an extension of divine intelligence, expressed uniquely through you. But you can't access that power when your mind is screaming and your system is scrambled. You access it in stillness. Stillness is the channel. It's where the downloads come. It's where truth arrives. Not always in words, but in knowing. You've felt this before, those moments where something just clicks in your spirit, where you're in the flow of life, when everything just seems to work for you instead of you working for it. You can't explain it logically, but you feel it. That's divine intelligence flowing through you. And the more you practice stillness, the stronger that connection gets. You stop looking outside for answers because you realize the source lives in you. Let me get real with you for a minute. For most of my life, I lived in survival mode. Not just mentally, but emotionally, spiritually, and physically. I didn't feel safe in my own mind. I didn't even trust myself. And I sure as hell didn't feel like I had control over anything, except maybe how hard I worked to hold everything together on the outside. I was constantly performing for approval, for belonging, for a feeling of safety I never actually felt. And under all of that performance, I was drowning. Anxiety ran my life. I woke up every morning already behind, already overwhelmed, already bracing for what might go wrong. My mind was always racing, searching for a threat, a flaw, a failure. It was like I had a siren in my head that never turned off. And I believed that if I just did more, fixed more, achieved more, maybe I'd finally be okay. Maybe I'd finally feel enough. But as you could probably guess, I never did, because my entire system had been programmed to survive, not thrive. And I didn't know any other way. So when people would say things like, just be still, or just listen to your inner voice, I honestly didn't even know what that meant. Stillness felt like danger, because in the silence, all the fear came up, all the shame, all the self-doubt, all the noise I was working so hard to outrun. So I kept running until one morning, after another sleepless night, filled with looping thoughts and deep aching emptiness, I sat down. I didn't even know what I was doing. I just knew I couldn't keep going like that. So I closed my eyes. No music, no agenda, just breath, just stillness. And something happened. It wasn't a lightning bolt. It wasn't some booming voice from above. It was subtle, gentle, but it cracked something open in me. It was a quiet knowing, something I had forgotten how to hear. It said, you're safe now. You don't have to earn your worth. You've been doing everything except listening. And I broke down. Tears I didn't even know I was holding in poured out of me. Not because I was sad, but because I finally felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Peace, stillness, hope. That moment didn't fix everything overnight. but it showed me a doorway to possibility. And that's all I needed. Because from that day forward, I stopped chasing. I started aligning. I stopped forcing and started listening. And slowly but surely, something shifted. That anxiety softened, my mind quieted, clarity came, and life started responding. Not to my effort, but to my energy, to my alignment. And that's what I want you to know. You're not broken. You're just running an old program, a survival script that was never meant to lead your life, just protect you. But once you learned how to pause, how to get still, and how to listen again, everything can change. Because your truth, it's not gone. It's just waiting for you to stop running long enough to hear it. Let's make this real, because everything I've talked about, from spiritual alignment to nervous system regulation to reconnecting with divine intelligence, it all begins with one thing: practice. Not perfection, not performance, just practice. Everything follows the law of process. You don't need to master it today. You just need to begin. Here are 5 simple, soul-grounding practices you can use, starting right now, to access stillness, align spiritually, and begin living from your truth. Number 1, start your day with 3 minutes of neutral breathing. Before you check your phone, before you scroll, consume, or let the outside world shape your state, spend some quality time with yourself. Here's how to do it. Sit somewhere quiet. It doesn't need to be fancy. Close your eyes. Let your hands rest gently on your legs or heart. Begin breathing naturally. Don't hold your breath. Don't try to breathe deep. Just let it be neutral. In and out. No effort, no force. Just follow it for 3 minutes. That's it. This practice brings your nervous system into a regulated state. It clears the clutter and it reminds your body that it's safe to be, not just do. I call this creating internal space, because when you give your breath room, your spirit starts to breathe again too. Number 2, ask for truth, not answers. After your 3 minutes of breathing, stay still, eyes closed, breath flowing, and now gently ask, what is my truth today? What have I been avoiding that needs love and honesty? What would alignment look like in this moment? Don't try to think of the answer. Instead, just listen. Feel into it. Be present for the truth to present itself. It might not come in words. It may arrive as a sensation in your body, a deep breath, a quiet sense of peace. Or it may not come at all right then. That's okay. You're not asking your mind. You're asking your truth. And truth doesn't demand attention. It invites you inward. Number 3, create a quiet space that feels safe and intentional. Stillness doesn't need to look a certain way. You don't need incense, a meditation corner, or perfect silence. What really matters is that you create a space where you can breathe, a space that feels calming, safe, and intentional. One that allows you to explore yourself without interruptions. This could be as simple as turning off distractions and sitting in a quiet room, dimming the lights, putting your phone in another room for a few minutes, or adding a candle or soft music that helps you settle. The point is to make this time feel different than the rest of your day. You're telling your mind and body, this moment is for me. I'm not rushing. I'm not performing. I'm just here. And the more often you give yourself space, even for 5 minutes, the more your nervous system will learn that it's safe to slow down, and your mind will follow. Number 4, pause instead of react. This will change your life. Stillness doesn't only happen during meditation. It shows up in real life, in conversations, in conflict, in moments of stress. Here's how to reclaim your power in those moments. When something triggers you, pause. Don't react. Take 3 conscious breaths. Put a hand over your heart if you need to ground yourself. Then ask, what would my most aligned self do here? Not ego, not fear, alignment. This one practice alone can heal relationships, shift patterns, and restore clarity because it puts presence between stimulus and response. That space is where your power lives. Number 5, close your day with a stillness check-in. This step completes the loop, and it only takes 1 minute. Before you go to sleep, ask yourself, where did I honor my truth today? Where did I abandon it and why? And what am I proud of myself for, even if it's something small? This isn't about judgment. It's about awareness, because self-awareness is the gateway to alignment. The more you reflect, the more you realign. And the more you realign, the easier it becomes to live your life from truth, naturally, effortlessly, powerfully. Stillness doesn't require perfection. It just requires willingness. Willingness to pause, willingness to listen, willingness to stop running and start returning to yourself, to your truth, to peace. And every time you practice, even for a few moments, you're telling your system it's safe to be me. It's safe to be still. It's safe to stop surviving and start aligning. That is the beginning of spiritual transformation. So, how do you know if you're living in alignment? Let's keep it simple. Alignment isn't some mystical, perfect state. It's not about always feeling blissed out or never getting triggered. It's about how connected you are to your truth in real time. Here are some signs that you're in alignment. You feel a deep sense of peace even when things are uncertain. You're not pretending things are fine. You're just grounded in something deeper than fear. You no longer betray your inner voice to make other people comfortable. You speak your truth, even when it's hard, and you stop apologizing for your clarity. You say no without guilt and yes without resentment. Boundaries become natural because you know your energy matters. You attract relationships, clients, and opportunities that reflect your highest self. You don't chase anymore. You magnetize. You experience synchronicities and unexpected flow. Things line up, not because you're hustling harder, but because you're aligned with what's right for you. But what about when you're out of alignment? You'll feel it. And here's how to recognize it. Without shame, just awareness. You're stuck in chronic anxiety, looping thoughts, or emotional exhaustion. Your system is running on survival energy instead of truth. You feel like no matter how much you do, it's never enough. That's not a productivity problem. That's a worthiness wound. You're constantly reacting instead of responding, snapping at loved ones, overthinking everything, feeling emotionally flooded by small things. You're trying to prove something constantly, proving you're good enough, smart enough, spiritual enough, valuable enough. But here's the spoiler alert: you already are. You feel disconnected from joy, passion, or purpose. Like you're just going through the motions, existing but not really living. These aren't failures, they're invitations. Your system is trying to tell you something. And the message is this: it's time to come back to center. It's time to stop running and start remembering. You don't have to keep living from a place of fear, force, or fatigue. Alignment isn't about perfection. It's about honesty. It's about noticing when you've drifted and gently choosing to return. And you can start that return anytime with one breath, one pause, one moment of stillness. Because the truth is, your inner wisdom never left you. You just got too busy to hear it. But it's still there, waiting, quiet, steady, ready to guide you home. Let me tell you what stillness reveals every single time. You are not broken. You are programmed, and you can reprogram. You are not your trauma. You are not your hustle. You are not your bank account, your past, your performance, or your productivity. You are truth. You are power. You are divine intelligence in human form. You don't have to chase your worth. You just have to remember it. And stillness helps you to do that. So let this be your invitation, not to do more, but to be more. Not to hustle harder, but to listen deeper. Because stillness isn't the absence of movement. It's the presence of power. It's where clarity rises. It's where truth speaks. It's where alignment begins. So let stillness lead. Let truth rise. Let alignment be your strategy. Because the next chapter of your life, it won't be built through control. It will be built through congruence, through truth, through peace, through presence. Hey, if this message spoke to you, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, What does alignment look like for you right now? And if you want help reprogramming the fear, anxiety, or overthinking that's been running your life, grab your free copy of my book, Fight Back, using the link below. This book walks you step by step through the exact process I use with my clients to help them rewire the subconscious patterns that keep them stuck and reclaim a life rooted in clarity, confidence, and truth. You'll learn how to align your mind with your power, how to stop surviving and start living, and how to trust your truth again. I'm Mike Oglesbee, and I believe in you and I believe in your success. Until next time, be well.